So one of the first things the vet noticed about Binky before she saw any of his episodes was that he was very hyperactive, very hyperstimulated. His nose moves extremely fast all of the time. This is also something that we've noticed with Binky since we've actually had him. Binky's nose goes so fast continuously, and even when he's asleep it seems to be moving fast. So he's very highly stimulated to start with. One of the other things she said was that he's not a typical rabbit. So before any of these episodes seen, as you'll see by the video I sent to her, you see him as Binky first. You see him happy doing what Binky does. And even this to her was, although very cute and made her laugh, very unusual as well. The way he is quite hyperstimulated, and that was one of the things that she noticed the most. So one of the things that could actually cause Binky to have one of these is when he is that hyperstimulated, his brain just goes AWOL. So he's always highly strung type thing. He's always sniffing something. He's always sensing something. He's got no rest mode. So Binky's rest mode is only when he sleeps. One of the answers I wanted were these even seizures to begin with? Did they even look like seizures? The plain answer is yes, very much so. But they're not big old shaking around the floor seizures that he has one and then he comes out of it. These are seizures that continue, so they're a bit like status epilepticus. So he has one after the other, after the other, after the other. That's actually what he's doing. So his body's rigid, his teeth are grinding, he's drooling, he's laying in his own urine, and you can see on his videos his ears are trembling and also very rigid, and his paws are curled like clawed. But there's lots and lots of them. So he's not just having it coming out of it, he's having multiple of these. And then he will go 1, 2, sometimes 3 weeks without anything, and then he'll start doing it again. And I definitely wanted this answer, are these even seizures?
Has he been doing this seizures for?
For 2 years.
For 2 years. So he's been doing. How old is he now? How old is he now?
Actually, 2 years and not. So he's 2 years and 9 months old, and they started at 4 months.
4 months. Okay. So how often are they? And when was the last time?
Can have, say 4 in a month, and another month he might not have one at all.
Okay. So when was the last time? Minutes? That's probably too long.
He wasn't unconscious, no.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. His eyes are open. He's not unconscious because...
No, because it couldn't be 10 minutes, otherwise he will have brain damage or something.
Yeah, no. What I mean is, so say for instance, it's kind of like a bit of an absence,
right.
And he shakes, and his teeth grind, and his eyes, you can clearly see in that video, his eyes don't look the same as they do when he's well. He looks kind of blank, that he feels like stone, like he's really hard instead of soft.
Okay, yeah. So who recommended the CBC drops?
Nobody. Like vet-wise, that was friends that recommended that, because the vets weren't really doing anything, and then they gave me a vet that was in Sevenoaks. I was like, I can't take him to Sevenoaks.
Yeah.
Another vet just basically said that we'll just wait for him to slip away.
I mean, sometimes seizures are idiopathic, so if the rabbit is happy and healthy, otherwise there's no reason for it. In other occasions, there's other reasons for seizures like poisoning, disturbances in the electrolytes, nutritional deficiencies, and things like that. By looking at the videos, he seems like a really hyperactive rabbit, so he's quite nervous anyway. So, I mean, it could be that it's just kind of his behavior, especially if he started having the problem like early in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes seizures are idiopathic, so if the rabbit is happy and healthy, otherwise there's no reason for it. In other occasions, there's other reasons for seizures like poisoning, disturbances in the electrolytes, nutritional deficiencies, and things like that. By looking at the videos, he seems like a really hyperactive rabbit, so he's quite nervous anyway. So, I mean, it could be that it's just kind of his behavior, especially if he started having the problem like early in his life.
Yeah.
Cats especially if the seizures are causing a problem and he's going straight away into stasis because he's kind of not eating for a while.
Yeah, that is a big problem with Binky.
They using the phenobarbital, which is the drug that is used in humans. In humans and in animals as well, and we could do a trial. We could do a trial of this drug. I mean, obviously, the phenobarbital, it could be it's daily, so it should be like given daily, so it builds up in the body. So now, once it builds up in the body, it kind of controls the neurological activity. So basically, it's like epileptic people, you know, need to give the treatment daily, and then so they don't have a seizure. Like,
Also,
because I mean, some conditions in rodents and in rabbits and that, they can be reverted, like diabetes. It can be reverted. Like, it's not like in humans, like, you know, they need the treatment for life. But obviously, epilepsy, you know, it's also in the nature, like, you know, the rabbit is quite hyperactive. So, you know, I would doubt that it would be reverted in any case if you start treatment and it works. It might be the case that you might be able to kind of discontinue it a little bit or kind of reduce the dose.
Yeah. He's not hyperactive all the time. He's but he's definitely kind of different. He like.
Yeah, but he's very. I mean, he's not just like a normal quiet rabbit jumping around, and you know, his activity is very high.
Yeah.
So that could explain the seizures.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, normally it's hyper animals that normally have like idiopathic epilepsy. Animals, so you know, they need to be eating all the time. The metabolism is really fast.
Yeah.
So you know, if they're having a seizure, the seizure normally uses a lot of energy. So you know, if it's using a lot of energy and the animal is not eating and is not eating after, it could cause a drop in glucose levels. Also, I mean, the reason for incoordinations and kind of having a fit and things like that, it could be related to low glucose levels.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, the animal would need to have monitoring for the day for the glucose levels. And normally low glucose levels that are happening constantly is normally related to a tumoral process. So I normally would say that it could be a tumor that is attached to the pancreas, which is what regulates the insulin levels in the body.
Right.
But I mean, I wouldn't say that he's got low glucose levels because normally I've seen animals with a tumor in the pancreas, and it doesn't matter if they eat or not, the glucose is not picking up.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So
yes,
blood test is probably gonna be around. I mean, depending on what is tested. Blood test, it might be between 120 140 pounds, so you know, it's quite pricey.
From your opinion, he's having seizures.
Yeah,
so they are seizures, so I don't have to call them episodes anymore. So for these seizures, he would need a seizure treatment, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, the seizures can only be related to poisoning, E. coli, metabolic problems, like serious metabolic problems, and you know, for what you're saying, he's already had the treatment for E. coli. He's obviously not got a poisoning because he would be dead already, and it doesn't look like he has a metabolic problem because you know, he's been okay since you bought him. So you know, it's just taking me to the fact that it might just be idiopathic epilepsy.
Yeah.